Terry Blackburn here. I have a property portfolio worth over £10 million. I've built and sold multiple companies, some in seven-figure deals. I wrote two successful books, one won awards all over the world. All of these awards behind me are national and international awards for some of my companies. Coach people one-on-one, and I run masterminds. Now, if you like what I talk about in this session, if you listen to my podcast, you follow us on Instagram, you follow the YouTube page, if you like what I talk about, and I resonate with you and you can relate to me, jump on my website, which is terryblackburnproperty.com. All of the different services that I have is on there. I'd love to work with you and I'd love to help you get to where you want to be, whether that's in property, whether that's in business, whether it's in sales, goal setting, whatever it is that you want to achieve and want to learn. I'm your man. Enjoy the rest of the episode and speak soon.
Hi, and welcome to the Rags to Riches show with myself, Terry Blackburn. So today's episode is all about how to manage refurbishments remotely. So a lot of people talk about doing this online. I don't think many people actually do it. It sounds cool and I like talking about it online, but there is actually things that you need to know. There's things that you need to do in order to do this correctly and successfully. So I'm going to share with you 7 things that I do in all of my refurbishments, because I do not go to site. Like I say, I don't particularly enjoy going to site. It's dirty, it's not really something I like to do. I get on with a lot of the builders, but it's not really the best use of my time. So I've just worked out key things that you can do in order to do this fully remotely. I live beside Chester, as you know, and a lot of my projects are in the northeast. So it's 3 and a bit hours away. I ain't going to travel 3.5 hours to a building site just to check on builders when I can do that fully remotely. There is no need to go to site. Maybe in your first few projects, you'll feel like you want to go to site, just so you feel like you're a little bit in control a little bit more. But in reality, everything can be done remotely using technology and using other people. Yeah? So I'm going to share with you 7 things anyway. So here we go. First thing, this is in no particular order. It's just an order I've got my notes in. First thing is key boxes, right? There's no point. I've heard people saying like, I need to let the builders in. Like, what are you doing? You're wasting time, and time's the most valuable thing that we have. Going to site to let builders in, right? If you don't trust these people, you shouldn't be working with them in the first place. There's got to be an element of trust. Simply put up a key box on the front and back door with the code, and you tell the builder what the code is. If they're going into quote, they're going into measure up, or they're going to actually do the work, they can just get the key and put the key back at the end of the day. Key boxes, the 20 quid or whatever they are from Amazon, screw them to a wall, easy peasy, right? Make sure you get a key box. Number 2 is, once I've decided which trades are going to do the job, I'm setting up a WhatsApp group for all communication, and I'm putting everybody in that group, from the labourers to me to each trade. And I'm also putting my PA or sometimes my ops manager. It depends on if you've got staff and you've got other people to help you. It might just be you and the trades. But there's nothing worse where, let's say, the plasterer says, let's say the Sparky's done the first fix electrics, and the plasterer, you told the plasterer, well, as soon as the Sparky's done, I want you to drop on and obviously start the plastering. And they don't communicate with each other. There's a miscommunication somewhere. He forgets, or you forget, or he doesn't ring the Sparky, or the Sparky doesn't answer. Something happens and they just don't communicate. That causes delays. So simply putting everybody in the same WhatsApp group and messaging everybody in that group saying what stage you're at, what's going on, saying to the Sparky, have you finished the first fix yet? If you have, right, plasterer, I need you to start. Once the plastering's done, you're telling the joiner, right, I need you to start fitting the kitchens, bathrooms, etc. It can all be done like that, and it just reduces time delays, and everyone then knows what's going on. You don't need to make 5 phone calls to arrange things. You can just send one message. So number 2 is definitely get a WhatsApp group set up with all of the trades involved in that particular job. The title of the WhatsApp group is just the address, and you set up that day 1, ready to start the job. Nice and straightforward. It's a centralized communication place for everyone to talk. Point 3 is because you're not going to be going and doing spot checks, and because you're not going to be going to the property to check in, and you're not going to be dipping in and out of this, each trade needs a price per job. It's not day rate, because the second, if the trades know that you're not going to be there and they're on a day rate, what are they going to do? a day rate, they are naturally going to drag things out because they're going to get paid more. And if you're not there to check, then they'll simply do that. That's just unfortunately the way a lot of trades are. So you're getting a price per job. You're not getting, it's going to take us 5 days and my day rate is this, because then they'll just say, well, it took us an extra day. You're not there to check because you're going to manage it remotely. You need a price per job, and you need to nail those trades down to a price and say it's not going to be any more. That's the price.
Sorry about that sandwich, Ben.
We'll cut it out.
Yeah, if you want to just maybe repeat just that last
bit. Yeah. Okay.
Bit, yeah, because it just went over.
So we'll repeat that last point. So point 3 is get a price up front from all builders, not day rate, because the second you put people on day rate, and if you don't visit the property in the project, they will just drag it out. So ideally you want to be managing your refurbishments remotely so you can do more volume and you can save yourself time. So up front you need to get each trade to give you a price per job, whatever they're going to be doing, instead of a day rate, because then you don't need to worry about how long it's taken them. And if they're going to take the piss and drag things out, you're simply getting the price up front. Yeah, really, really simple, but really important. That's point 3. Point 4, me personally, how I do this, I don't do these checks, but my staff do. Okay, so I get somebody in my team to go out to the property once a week, unannounced. Not like I'm coming every Monday, everybody, because then they'll know that the place has got to be tidy and they've got to be up to speed by the Monday. So I'm normally sending my PA or my ops manager to literally turn up unannounced at least once a week, because then you'll be surprised what goes on these sites when you're not there. But at least if they know that that's happening, because it happens week 1, and then happens week 2, happens week 3, the trades are thinking to themselves, well, I can't really take the piss here. We can't leave the place a bomb site because someone's going to be checking. I'm not doing the checks myself at all, and I wouldn't advise you do it either. The whole point of doing it remotely is so you don't have to do this. But you could get someone who you trust, maybe he's a staff member. If you've got someone who works for you, a friend, just asking someone else to check in, right? If you've got a project manager, they should be doing this for you. And a great phrase is trust them, but check them, right? Trust but verify. Trust but check. You've got to give these people, you've got to trust these people, you've got to give them an element of trust, but still check they're doing what they're doing, or they're doing what they should be doing. Because if you don't, they might just run away with you. So that's point 4. Point 5, again, these are in no particular order, but with every tradesman, and I'm telling them this up front before they even start the job, saying, listen, I'm not going to be on site. Some of my staff will be calling in and out, but before I pay you any invoices, I need to see pictures and videos of the work that's been done. Sometimes before, certainly during, and definitely after, I want to see that the work has been done, because I'm not going to pay somebody to fit a kitchen if I don't know if the kitchen is being fitted. Of course, I'm trusting, but I'm verifying. I'm trusting them by giving the job, but I'm saying I'm not going to pay you until I see a video. And they'll simply put it in the WhatsApp group. The other trades will see it in the WhatsApp group. You're fine. And that's just, basic stuff. Don't think that you're asking too much of these people by saying that. And if it's an old school builder and say, I don't know how to take videos, say, well, someone else needs to take a video for you then. It's as simple as that. If you want to work for me, you want to work on my projects, I can give you loads of work. You need to do as I ask. I'm the customer, right? But I get pictures and videos, normally before, during, and after works. I've normally got a video from the viewing beforehand, so don't necessarily need a beforehand picture or video, but certainly during and definitely after. In all instances, I'm not paying anybody until I see the finished product. But again, that's something that you need to know and do if you're going to manage refurbishments remotely, for sure. Point 6 is obviously obvious, but I think it's still a valid point, that you have to trust these people. And there's I've talked loads about sales in previous podcasts, and like being good at sales helps you with this, because you learn about people and how they work, but you've got to have trustworthy people around you. And that's from the builders, from each different types of trade, and you've got other people that you trust in that area. And sometimes, right, a little tip on this is when you meet somebody, right, have you ever had that sixth sense? You meet somebody and you just think, I'm not sure about this person. And they haven't said anything memories they have, but sometimes they haven't even said anything wrong, right? It's just the feeling that you get, right? And that's your sixth sense, that's your gut. A lot of the time that is right. So when you meet a builder or you speak to a builder on the phone or you do a FaceTime or whatever, and you get that feeling, sometimes that's right. Yeah. And certainly the first time you work with someone, you've got to trust and you've got to verify. But if your gut tells you when you're going to be working with someone that not to work with them or they're not trustworthy, like, don't do it. Because in my experience, it's been right every single time, my gut. Every time. Certainly if I've got a negative feeling about the person, it's been right every time. So try your best to start to build trustworthy contacts in your investment area. That's through builders and through people, because you never know who you're going to need and if you need a favor. And obviously things are obviously just going to run more smoothly if you've got good builders and trustworthy builders around you. I've obviously done this a long time. I've got a great team around us of pretty much every trade. I've got multiple people in every trade that I need, that I can call upon. Even little things like maintenance in the future. If something goes wrong, I can make a few phone calls. Well, my team make the phone calls now. I don't even make the phone calls. But I used to make the phone calls and my team make them now. They can bring someone and they can get someone to any part of Newcastle pretty much straight away to help with whatever that we need. And that's just came through time. But you want to be starting now, even if it's your first project, you want to be starting now to build those relationships, build up the trust, build your little power team, because it can only positively impact you in the future and help you when you're managing refurbishments remotely, for sure. Last point, before I kind of summarize, is a mindset shift. Now, most people, certainly at the start, me included actually, at the start you think you need to be there. You think, I want to be there, I need to be there, I need to be checking, it's my investment, I've put 40, 50 grand or 100 grand into this property. I need to be there to make sure that it's going to plan. It's just a mindset block, that. You really don't. What's the difference between you seeing a video in pictures or you seeing with you in real life with you, when you're actually there? In reality, there's no real difference. So it's just a mindset thing. And if you value your time and you've got loads of other stuff on, you do not need to be doing in-person. That's viewings when you actually look to buy the property, and refurbishments. I completed on 2 properties this week, 2 flips. I've still never been to the properties. They started work yesterday on both of them and I've still never been. I don't need to go. And that's just a mindset thing. And you might not think like that now, but certainly the more projects that you do, you will start to think like that. And if you've got other businesses and other stuff going on, then you will definitely start to realize that it's not the best use of your time going to refurbishments. It's really, really not. Everything can be done via email, via video, even things like kitchens, right? So you've got the keys for a property, right, it needs a new kitchen. You can make a phone call, or someone in your staff can, make a phone call to Howdens or Magnet Kitchens, get them out to the property. They'll do a measure. You've got a key box on the door, remember, give them the code. They can go in, they can measure up for the kitchen, they can send you CAD drawings remotely. You can then pick colours, pick layouts, pick types of units, all done on email and over the phone. They can then get it delivered to site when a builder's going to meet them there. You do not need to be involved in that. You don't need to be there. Same with the bathrooms. You can send builders merchants, B&Q, Howdens, Plumbase, Plum Centre, wherever you're getting your stuff from. You can send them pictures and videos, and they will be able to design a kitchen, a bathroom for you, fully remotely. You can get someone else to do the video, and then you can make a phone call. Yeah, and think about your traveling time from your house to your project. That might be 10 minutes, it might be 30 minutes, it might be an hour. There is no point. You are wasting time doing that. You can get other people to do it. Once you get your mindset right on that, it really will help you speed things up and manage refurbishments fully remotely. There's other arguments to this as well. There's other reasons, of course. You might not like dealing with builders. You might be inexperienced, or even sometimes as simple as if you're a female and you might feel a little bit threatened by a tradesman, because they are a bit hard work, aren't they? And they might try and take the mick, and they might try and take the piss because you're female or you're inexperienced. Likewise, if you're male, of course, there's no sexist thing here. But you get the point. Some women are threatened by, or feel a bit under pressure, or they feel a bit uneasy around 4 or 5, tradesmen. So, and understandably, I completely get that. You might just want to do it remotely for that reason alone. You might want to save time. You might want to speed things up. I might just not enjoy it, right? But these 7 things, the things I've discussed in this podcast, will definitely help you start to manage projects remotely. And hopefully it's flicked a switch with your mindset, because that's important. And give it a try. Give it a try. If you've never done it before, give it a try, and you'll start to see like it's so much better. It's so much better because it's quicker, it's easier, and you can get other people to do things for you. Then you're buying your time back. You can then use that time into other high value tasks to ultimately make more money, do more deals, negotiate more properties, and speed up your progress. So that's my 7 things that you must know and do in order to manage your refurbishments remotely. Remember, if you've liked this podcast, please share it with a friend or family member or a business partner, someone else who's involved in property, who maybe struggles with refurbishments. Share this with them. There's a button on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can simply share this podcast with them, and hopefully I can help them just like I've helped you. So remember, don't just take notes, take action. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all soon.